Cansado daquele atacante que só perde gols? Reforce seu time comprando coins de maneira rápida e segura, sem risco de banimento. Cobrimos qualquer oferta do mercado. Chame agora mesmo no link da descrição.
Feeds off it as well. So we'll have to see how he's going to deal with this pressure as we're underway. It's Young versus VERJGANG. It's the quarterfinals here at the Esports World Cup featuring FC24. And I really feel like this opening goal is going to be massive, depending on which way it goes here.
If Young scores first and can put Anders on the back foot, it really opens up this game. Anders has got the mechanical brilliance to win this game at a canter. If he is switched on and if he is fully equipped, if he takes his head away from it for a second, Young has more than enough ability to knock Anders out of the tournament.
Just for clarity, it is going to be Young kicking from left to right in the darker kit, and VERJGANG, of course, in that RB Leipzig kit from the right to left, as he's now attacking with Joselu. Does have help here with Mbappe, tries to play it through. Ball gets given away, though, and I think it's going to be a little bit nervy to begin with, but this opening goal, if it goes in favour, oh, it's a great shot, it's a great effort. But Young just about holds on.
Already seeing the step-overs coming out. Slightly fortunate to get the bounce back in his favour, but then, I'll be honest, I expected the goal. Very surprised that Anders isn't celebrating to the crowd right now.
Ball goes out of play. And possession back to Anders VERJGANG. And certainly hasn't been able to show us the world champion that he is so far when he's on main stage. Off main stage, he's been brilliant. He's taken down some of the best players in the world. Can he find that same kind of form on this main stage and silence a crowd that is very much going to be wanting him to lose here?
When it got through to the quarterfinals in Berlin, his results 7-2, 6-0, 7-0. A quarterfinal, a semi-final, and a final.
Hold on a second, though. This could be the opener. It's a good save, though, from Schmeichel. And that's two chances, both ends. Both players could have a lead, but we know what corners, they can be dangerous. But again, it's well played from VERJGANG. Make sure you get Konate there to judge that height, judge that header, and compete with Erling Haaland.
We always say nerves and pressure. What does that actually look like? What does that look like in an FC sense? We should be looking at a 1-1 scoreline right now. A little bit of time finishing on missing. A slight lack of composure. We said what with the first goal. What if we don't see a first goal for 50, 60, 70 minutes?
Yeah, that's when the nerves really start to kick in, especially with the life-changing amount of money that's on the line at this tournament. $1 million prize pool, but here comes the cross, but Czech's quick to come out. Wasn't really that threatening in the end, but it is something that Young needs to be aware of. And it's something that we didn't see much of from Anders during the games on the main stage. He wasn't really going for the crosses. He wasn't going for the corners. He was kind of focusing on a lot of play through the middle, trying to play the beautiful game. And he's never really shied away from it. He's always said he doesn't really like the crossing meta. He doesn't like the corners. He wants to play the way that he sees the game. And I think when there's $1 million on the line, sometimes you just have to suck it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But here he comes. Stones on this left-hand side has been brilliant all tournament long. Haaland's going to be able to be available in the box. Oh, it's a great shot. But again, it's not quite enough to beat Petr Cech.
Couple of missed chances at either end. It just adds just that extra level of tension. And we know the results for Anders on the main stage. He will know that as well. He'll know he's not one up there. What a pass.
What a ball that is, though, and surely we have it. And of course, he lets the crowd know, but it is subtle. It's not over the top. And I think that's good from Anders. He has to stay focused, has to have that composure. But one thing we saw very rarely on the main stage was him taking a lead, holding a lead. He was often trying to come back from behind.
That driven pass is so penetrating. Ruud Gullit finds R9, and we talked about just a little lack of composure in the first 20 minutes. On that occasion, one extra touch, waited, seeing where the goalkeeper was, Realised that there was enough space at that near post just to squeeze it in. Given the periods of play we've seen.
Cansado daquele atacante que só perde gols? Reforce seu time comprando coins de maneira rápida e segura, sem risco de banimento. Cobrimos qualquer oferta do mercado. Chame agora mesmo no link da descrição.
The first 20 minutes, you would say a deserved one-goal lead.
Certainly deserved, but there has been chances for Young. Could be another here, and it's going to be a pen. And just like that, the lead could be scraped away from Anders VERJGANG. CR7 steps over it and will finish as Young puts one on the board. And just like that, we're all tied up. So all those nerves, all that tension, and we're back to level pegging.
You just saw Young gesture to the crowd as well, wanting him to get up. Maybe he feels as though that could be a way to get into the head of Anders. The actual foul itself, it's not good defending by any stretch of the imagination. Young did well to get into the space, but it looked like a pretty obvious press of a tackle button from Anders, which he will be disappointed by.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy, maybe, certainly by his standards. The best in the world for a reason. A lot of the talk with the pros here at this tournament was if VERJGANG can play the way he did at the World Championship, he would easily win this, because no one would touch him. But I don't feel like he's hit those heights just yet. Could be a shot from distance here from Hullet, but instead just walks his way in, plays the ball through, and somehow, some way, has found his way on goal. And look at the eruption from Young. He knows that this crowd is on his side, and he's playing up to it.
And when we see this replay coming back in, I just want to highlight the goalkeeper, because Anders, he's so active with the goalkeeper movement. He almost doesn't really defend. He's so caught up on moving that keeper and trying to position them correctly. The actual defending mechanics that he was using, he got Van Dijk, he pulled him to the left out of the way a little bit. It was really simple for Young.
I think it was so important that Young got an instant reply here against Anders, because it's not allowed Anders to settle into the game and really dictate the pace of it, hold on to possession, and just attack Young over and over. Instead, now it's Young who leads. It's Young who can see how quickly he wants to play this game and start to frustrate Anders a little bit, maybe.
Completely turned on its head, this game.
And certainly now, just opening up more chances. It's going to be the 2. Oh, he saw the goalkeeper movement and said, I tell you what, I fancy one.
We talked about a lack of confidence in the first 20 minutes. It's flowing through Young right now. So audacious, and I absolutely love it.
I mean, in this meta where corners are so good, I don't hate it, as there's a lot of players, a lot of bodies going forward, but the pass isn't quite good enough. As you can see, the fans of Young in the crowd as well would love to see him find a victory here.
Yeah, it looks like a couple of Brazilians in there supporting. I'm sure PHZ will be watching on in support of a good friend of his as well.
And of course, he wouldn't face PHZ until the final if he were to go on all that way. So they're on different sides of the bracket. Saka now plays one into R9. This is better from Anders, does have a second chance, but will be recovered here by Young, and he can start to break away. A quick move. There are defenders back for Anders to work with, but you can see the CR7 making the run alongside Havertz. A nice little 1-2 is going to do wonders here to create some space, but good defensive positioning, but not quite good enough. Still is an opening, but finally, VERJGANG will win the ball back.
It just looks a little bit all over the place at the moment, Anders, but
hold on.
Look how quick he can turn defence into attack.
Erling Haaland, what can you do? Just ran into Saliba. Maybe just hoping that Young would step into a position there.
But speaking of PHZ, Young was to win this game. Final quarter-final, Nicholas probably the favourite against Abu Maka. 3 out of the 4 semi-finalists, all from South America. What about that on the bingo cards coming into Riyadh?
I mean, we've seen across the years just how dominant South America can be at times. And it looks no different here, as now there's another opportunity. Haaland with a step over, still has the ball, just about gives it away. And it looks nervy at the back. VERJGANG gives away possession, regains it at least, so he can try and settle these nerves a little bit. He does need a goal, I feel.
Young's second man press as well is really impressive. Every time you see that little green arrow on top of the AI player, quote unquote, that's Young activating him and pushing two players over to the ball. He's sort of pinning Anders in, which is very, very uncommon.
Ball given away again, but it doesn't matter because it is going to be a free kick to Anders VERJGANG. At the moment, Anders hasn't really had a passage of play to be able to break through, and as you mentioned, Richard, it's because of the defensive work we're seeing from Young. But if there is an opening, you know that VERJGANG will find it, and he can stretch his legs with Hosselu here. Into Saka, will shoot, but it's a good save from Czech.
Cansado daquele atacante que só perde gols? Reforce seu time comprando coins de maneira rápida e segura, sem risco de banimento. Cobrimos qualquer oferta do mercado. Chame agora mesmo no link da descrição.
Gonna be a corner. Danger. Plays it in. Erling Haaland not going to be able to get up over Konate. Now, actually, Young can launch a counter.
It looked a little bit dangerous, that one, as it came in, because he wasn't committed at all with the goalkeeper. It was right under the crossbar as well. Delivery probably a little bit too close, if anything.
These runs that we made from CR7, by the way, have been crazy. As now, speaking of CR7, he's through a goal, has a chance to shoot. That was an opportunity to take a big lead here, but still does have a corner. Again, Haaland's going to be the target, and for good reason. Young's 3-1 up. As again, he shouts towards the crowd, and he's loving every moment.
Vamos, indeed. Player and coach up off their feet. He deserved a goal from the original play with CR7. Corners, we know what to expect. We know the success rates. I think Ryan Pazor always says it's a penalty as soon as it goes into the box. But Anders wasn't able to get anywhere close to that Erling Haaland. Is it close enough that if he'd pulled the keeper, does he get it? It's split-second decision-making. He didn't move the goalkeeper at all. And he finds himself 3-1 down after, for 17, 18 minutes, being in control as a couple of admins head onto the stage. I actually think that is Jesper Pilm, if I'm not mistaken. Former Danish coach of Marcuso.
It's incredible knowledge, just to be able to see that from a side view as well. But Anders clearly unhappy about something. The one thing that this delay will do is just maybe stop the momentum on the side of Young. You can see he's amped. He's locked in. He's chatting to himself at this point. He's saying, like, he's got
45 minutes away.
3-1 up. 45 minutes away from a semi-final. Guarantee yourself $90,000.
And I also...
What's happening here?
The way that... I always think of how the game's progressed and sort of the momentum of the match and how it's moving along. Right now, it's a lengthier half-time pause as usual, so that it could swing. But if we just played straight through, Young's probably 4-5, 6-1 up.
Oh. I mean, you know full well that once you take a 2-goal lead, you start to feel a little bit more comfortable. That does allow you to play in that manner as well. We need to see an answer back from Anders VERJGANG here.
Just look how close he is to that monitor.
Every pixel counts. But there was something that he wasn't happy with in that first half, and I don't know if it was where the PS5 was located, but it's certainly been moved now, and maybe it can help, or maybe not. Saka can whip this one. It's CR7! It's 4! And Young is trying to put this game to bed.
It is Young's moment on the main stage. Anders looks lost. After a devastating loss in January on penalty kicks. That right there, that outburst of emotion. 6 months of, you took my moment to qualify for the FC Pro World Championship. However, Anders is built different. If anyone in this scene could overturn a 4-1 defeat, you would think it'd be him.
But if we see another one go in favor of Young here, I do start to wonder, is it just a little bit?
Cansado daquele atacante que só perde gols? Reforce seu time comprando coins de maneira rápida e segura, sem risco de banimento. Cobrimos qualquer oferta do mercado. Chame agora mesmo no link da descrição.
Bit too late. One more into another. He's playing with him at this point, but it's a good save from Schmeichel. And Young needs to just try and find one more. It really would put this game to bed and put him far too far away from VERJGANG.
Back post, Haaland.
Goalkeeper has been brought out. Haaland is going to be the target. Haaland versus Schmeichel in the air, and Haaland cannot beat the gloves of Peter Schmeichel. And Anders will survive for now.
Oh,
but he's giving the ball away. Here's CR7. Bang! It's 5! And this game might just be done.
The press from Young. He was so rampant. As soon as that ball went into the box from the corner and the second bounce fell to Anders, he tried playing out. And he was on him like a rash. Couple of step overs. Anders did move the goalkeeper, but it didn't matter because Cristiano Ronaldo is Young's man of the moment right now.
I mean, we have to give credit where it's due for this performance from Young. To do this against the current world champion really is something. I mean, for VERJGANG, there is still time, and if anyone can do it, it would be him.
He's shown us no signs though.
But there hasn't been those signs. You've got to remember how young Anders is, though, as well, right? I mean, he came into the scene when he was 14, 15. He's only 17, 18 now, 18. His R9 not quite through on goal, but does have some possession. Is players up and above. It's going to be Erling Haaland, and there's one back. Don't count him out just yet.
That's a long time. 32 minutes. With 9-minute halves, he's going to put constant press on. He's going to step on it. If he was to turn this game around, it would be something quite historic here in the Kadir Arena. Young's got to be careful.
How's your lip reading, by the way? Mine's pretty good.
What was it?
He said I can't do anything. He's trying. But everything he tries just, it's not doing what he wants.
He struggled on the main stage through one factor or another.
Here's Young looking to try and find a sixth, and there is that sixth. The instant reply.
Oh.
And the fans are lapping this one up.
Again, I love it either way. Just the emotion that's been on show. Young knew what to expect from Anders. Both supremely confident in the pre-match chat.
Yep.
Unfortunately, only one of them can win. And he's not just winning, he's dominating right now, Young.
62 minutes on the clock. 6-2 is the score. Could be 7 here as Saka's through. Oh, it's beautiful from Young. And there's no way now, surely, that Anders gets back into this game. It's even a little shake of the head from Young. Saying it's almost too easy at this point. He can start thinking about that semi-final. Maybe he can start thinking about that trophy with how he's been playing. If you can take down the world champion like this.
What's stopping you? For Anders in Berlin when he went on to win that world championship, it was Johnny he beat in the round of 16. 4 goals to 2. And once you spoke to Anders, he said, as soon as I beat Johnny, I knew I was going to win it. If Young goes on to lift the Esports World Cup FC24 trophy, people will look towards this result.
Well, it's 7-2 with 25 minutes left. It would need to be nothing short of a miracle for Anders VERJGANG. For Young here, this is revenge. Never beaten Anders, but now he's hammering him. Here's a corner. Haaland's there. Easy peasy, hits the post. That could have been 8.
You watched the game yesterday, last game of the day, where it was a overwhelming scoreline, what, 10-1?
10-1.
In the end. Even though this game, there's still, what, 23 minutes left to play. Anders hasn't really shown anything, and this could get to double figures.
Anders just has to throw everything forward, and it does leave gaps like this at the back. It's 8 for Young. It's game, it's match, you can call it here. He knows it, we know it, Anders knows it too.
Cansado daquele atacante que só perde gols? Reforce seu time comprando coins de maneira rápida e segura, sem risco de banimento. Cobrimos qualquer oferta do mercado. Chame agora mesmo no link da descrição.
And Young has been nothing short of phenomenal this tournament. And he wants to hear more from the crowd, as they're even griddying at this point.
They're griddying, they're doing Anders' celebration, they're showing the tears.
I think I said yesterday when Bonanno got hammered 10-1, I said it's character building. And it's the same here for VERJGANG. Off the back of winning a World Championship, he'll taste defeat again here. But that will only encourage him to come back bigger, better, stronger, as he looks to try and put one back on the board, but can't get the shot away with R9. Haaland will get a second chance. That's going to be denied as Young regains possession.
Look, Anders will be back.
Of course he will.
A player so talented just doesn't go away like this. And I can tell you what, the next time Anders VERJGANG and Young play against each other, it's going to be absolute fireworks.
Well, just as everyone was excited to see Anders versus PH again, right? We're going to be excited to see... I mean, let's be honest, we're excited every time Anders VERJGANG is playing.
But... is it now a little bit personal?
Could be. Oh! He's trying it. This is what you set yourself up for when you become that villain, though, and you know you can make those celebrations when you are winning. You have to be able to take them as well on the flip side. But now Young starts to look towards, you know, a semi-final, and you mentioned the names earlier. There's some big names still in this tournament. Here's Hullet, and here's a chance for one more.
Rebound.
And there it is. It's 9. The headphones are off. And the shoe is out.
Superb. That is incredible. You talk about the other players in this semi-final. Well, Nicholas versus ABAIXO coming up next. You've got to think he's going to get the exact same treatment. Nicholas.
Well, also what's funny is Young is a crowd favourite right now, but if he were to play ABAIXO in that semi-final,
booed out the building.
Suddenly you're booed off the stage. There's not going to be any Cristiano Ronaldo Sues there.
Jafonso against PH again. PH going to be a heavy fan favourite. Recently signing for Al Hilal FC.
One back for VERJGANG as he just shows he still has what it takes to put the ball in the back of the net. But no reaction from him towards the crowd. He knows that this one's done as well. And it will be a tough pill to swallow for any player, no matter your confidence, no matter if you are a villain. We're all human at the end of the day.
He's probably glad this is the last event of FC24. Gets a few months away.
I mean, it's a shame that that's going to be a memory for him of FC24 after such an incredible year. When you look at the World Championship, you look at the Pro Open, etc. Like, he's just been a player that has gone from strength to strength every time we've seen him.
But when you do make it a little bit personal, people want to beat you even more.
You get a target on your back.
Yeah.
Well, when you become a world champion, you get a target on your back. Everyone wants to beat you. Everyone wants to beat you.
Watching VOD even more closely, what are you doing that's differently? Why do you think so many people are using Saka?
Yep.
So Anders was so good with him in Berlin.
Your strategy gets studied. It gets copied. And your homework was good for the previous event, but you almost have to come up with something else in the next, and that's not always easy to do in FC. As Anders looks to try and put another consolation goal on the board, but it's not going to happen. Can Young find 10? That's my question.
I can't believe this score.
I mean, you look at it on paper and you ask, what on earth happened?
It's the first 20 minutes were really cagey.
It looked like Anders might have been able to take it, as the 10th goal could be here. He's trying to put on a show for the fans at this point. He probably could have had a 10th goal.
Anders has struggled so much on the main stage.
And there could be various reasons for that. Certainly, I will give him credit. He hasn't really played up to the fans as much as he did in the previous games. Of course, after the goal, he did a little bit, but it wasn't as over the top as it was in other games.
Yeah, just as I was talking about with Ryan as well, you're playing different settings from backstage to on here. Obviously, the crowd play a factor. Maybe it's different connection as well up there. It's different factors, but it's the same for both players.
I mean, Young's been loving it as he finds 9 here, and it might only finish as 9. I say only 9 goals against Anders VERJGANG. This is something that Young will remember for a very long time. He had yet to beat Anders VERJGANG on the main stage over the last couple of years, but now he has well and truly hammered him into the ground and will send him home and crush his key.
Wow.
One last chance for Anders to try and just put one on the board to have a happy memory, and it hits the post. And that about sums up his game, but no, he does get a second chance. He does get an opportunity to put a 4th on the board, but that will be the last kick of the game, as Young has completed his mission of taking down Anders VERJGANG and finding his revenge as he marches into the semi-finals here of the Esports World Cup featuring EAFC. What a game we've just seen.
Well, let's wait to see Anders handing over that key, as full-time whistle is seconds away. There we are, 9-4.
Cansado daquele atacante que só perde gols? Reforce seu time comprando coins de maneira rápida e segura, sem risco de banimento. Cobrimos qualquer oferta do mercado. Chame agora mesmo no link da descrição.